Dorm laws replacement found. Apps bleeding telecom sector dry. And Brassington wants lawsuit dismissed. I am Rico Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Nandrani Kunja, a PPP candidate from Region 2, is expected to replace Nigel Darmlall in the National Assembly as early as Thursday. The PPP has written to GCOM to have Kunja's name extracted from its list of candidates. Although Kunja will replace Darmlall in Parliament, it is not automatic that she will also take up the post of Local Government and Regional Development Minister, which was, of course, previously held by Darmlall. The ministerial replacement will have to be appointed by the President, and he has not confirmed any cabinet reshuffle. Thus far, Anand Prasad currently heads the Ministry of Local Government, but holds the substantive post of Minister within the ministry. Guyana's total public and publicly guaranteed debt increased by 2.3%, or US $84.5 million in the first quarter of the year, taking the nation's total debt stock to US $3.7 billion from the end of December 2022. The stock of total domestic debt grew by 3.7% to US $2.2 billion, while the stock of external public debt increased by 0.5% to US $1.6 billion. Telecommunication companies throughout the Caribbean are operating at a loss due to apps such as Facebook and WhatsApp Messenger, and the majority of data being consumed through social media. The crisis is being driven by over-the-top operators and big tech generating high levels of traffic on networks, triggering increased consumer demand for new services and data to be provided by telecoms companies. The Canto C6 working group is recommending that the internet model be updated to take into account the changes since the 1990s and that Caribbean governments encourage investments in network infrastructure. Now for crime news. Emmanuel Lamaison, a 22-year-old security guard from Independent Street, Lagrange, died in a motorcycle accident last night. The crash happened on the Wales Public Road around 9 p.m. when Lamaison lost control of his bike while speeding and collided with a light pole. He was later found in a trench and taken to the West Dem Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Over in the interior, a fatal accident occurred on the Ituni Trail in Region 10, resulting in the death of 31-year-old driver Rodwell Peters. Peters lost control of the vehicle and it toppled, pinning him underneath. Damien Fraser, a porter, was also injured in the accident and taken to the hospital. Peters' body was recovered the next day and is awaiting an autopsy. An unidentified indigenous man was found dead at 42 miles back down Region 1, where he was employed with a dredging operation owned by a businessman named Diane David, who was establishing a mining operation. The police are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding his death.
Attention truck owners! Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
The police force is currently seeking Carlton Newborn Waldron for questioning in relation to the murder of 19-year-old Daquan Pyle, who was killed whilst trying to part a fight involving his sisters. Waldron is specifically wanted for the murder, and anyone with information leading to his apprehension is asked to contact the police. Investigations are ongoing. Over in the diaspora, Edward Caban was recently named as the next NYPD commissioner, making him the first Hispanic person to lead the United States' largest police department. Meanwhile, Tania Kinsella was also announced as the next first deputy commissioner, making her the first woman of color to serve in that position in NYPD history. She is a 20-year veteran of the NYPD and has served in various positions. Kinsella is the youngest daughter of immigrants from Jamaica and Guyana and is also a mother herself. The mayor of New York described Kinsella as an unparalleled leader, and her appointment personifies the American dream. The American dream achieved by a Guyanese. Now for today's oil update. Despite oil being discovered in Ghana since 2015, the Petroleum Commission, a key component of managing our nation's oil and gas sector, has yet to be operationalized. However, the president has just announced that the process towards setting up the commission is ongoing, but the Petroleum Commission bill is yet to be retabled in the National Assembly. The government has passed the National Resource Fund Bill, established the Natural Resource Fund Board, and updated the 1986 Petroleum Act with the Draft Petroleum Activities Bill. The Production Sharing Agreement has also been updated to increase the state's take to over 60% of the current revenue share. And yet, the Petroleum Commission has yet to be operationalized. And finally, head of Ghana's Gas-to-Energy Task Force, Winston Brasington, has urged the Supreme Court to dismiss a lawsuit against the gas-energy project, arguing that it is, quote, obstructionist. The lawsuit concerns the issuance of an environmental permit by the Environmental Protection Agency to ExxonMobil Ghana for the installation of the pipeline. The Gas-to-Energy project is intended to produce a reliable source of electricity for the nation, but the litigants argue that Exxon does not have the requisite permission to conduct activities on the lands designated for the gas pipeline route to the power plant.
Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. They speed even our drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel every place was. Last night I asked, what question do you have for me, Noriko?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Barefoot Wanderer wants to know my thoughts on the new WHO Pandemic Treaty Amendment and how they'll dictate the world on how pandemics are managed. To be honest, I'm deeply disturbed by it. I'm also deeply disturbed by just how compliant our government is in this process. Mr. Joseph asks, how can people reach out to the party and become a member? They're hoping it's not just a set of small-minded people in a party just trying to join up with one of the big ones, because that would be pointless. And also ask what we're doing on the ground floor because they don't see us. Well, to that I say, you can visit unityforguyana.com for more information, and you can even join the organization through there. From there, you can apply to become a member of the movement and even get added to our national WhatsApp group, where you can receive the latest updates about what the movement is doing. You can also visit the movement's Facebook page and even the TikTok page. For both, just search Movement for Unity and Democracy. Now, since the election, the group has actually been doing outreaches in regions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10, with plans to reach every single region by year's end. Dimitri V asks, what do you think the minimum wage should be in Ghana? What are some future plans for the channel? And lastly, what's one thing besides corruption you feel could be changed right now? I feel that minimum wage should be the smallest livable wage possible based on the economy at the time. Then it should be revisited every 5 to 10 years depending on how much growth and inflation occurred during that period. I'm sure the experts can figure out what exactly that number should be. Our plans for this channel is to keep thriving and surviving in the face of political repression. And lastly, the one other thing that could revolutionize our nation is empathy. If we as Guyanese would learn to be more empathetic and see each other as brothers and sisters, there's no telling what we could accomplish as a people. And finally, Guyette asks, what will it take to increase salaries to at least 200,000 Ghana dollars? Oh no, probably a working class national uprising lasting for several months to a year. Just saying. Now for tonight's question. What do you feel is the biggest issue facing the nation today, and why? I want you to think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nico Bolford saying good night, folks.